Under the Cowl, episode 55, Road Rash Mustache.
Nice. We go. All right. Up, up, down, down, left, right, and B. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just playing Nintendo Virtual Boy. I didn't know there was a podcast going on.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just eating. On a Wednesday.
Yeah, I just ate on a Wednesday too. Is that pizza?
It is pizza, yes.
Which is great because once if we have another member on, I'll wait to reveal the story.
And wait,
there we go.
somebody, oh, yeah, it looks
Oh.
like you have somebody else joining us.
I'll get back to playing Nintendo Virtual Boy here real quick. Oh, podcast.
I want to get mine out now.
Hey.
Okay, so it's pretty great that you're eating a pizza there. Do you want to describe what you're eating?
It's a pizza. It has a crust, sauce, cheese, and toppings.
Wow, that's quite the intricate meal there. Where's that from? What are we talking here?
Well, you'll be happy to hear that your competitor's pizza is not I'm not that happy with it. This is actually stop quick on the way home, whatever. This is a Kroger rising crust pizza. Cooking it now, we kind of know, everybody knows their ovens, so we tend to cook things, even though it says like cook it. I forgot what this one said, like 400 or whatever. We do 425. We just know that when it comes to pizza, 425 is the magic number on our oven. And I did cook it for the proper length of time and everything. And yet the crust seems a little undercooked. And I think the reason for that is the sauce is very watery. It's a very runny sauce, and it's messy. So the cheese and the toppings are just sliding off of it, even after cooling down a little bit. So it's not like burn the hell out of your mouth hot, fresh out of the oven. The stuff still is just falling off. Yeah, it's like runny, so the sauce is like dripping. Grabbed a couple extra napkins just to clean up any mess that I might have.
So what you're saying is that Kroger pizza, the water slides of pizza.
Yes. Yeah, it's slip and slide pizza. So yeah, all the toppings are falling off. Even in the oven, I had to keep picking up my sausage out of the oven. My sausage kept dropping.
And then you had to monitor the pizza too.
Yeah.
Do you want to give access to the share screen? Because I have to share a pizza that I had tonight, a brand new one that I've never had before. So whenever you are able to.
I don't think we've done a share screen since I switched computers, and
oh yeah, that's right.
I probably have to go through that whole thing.
But yeah, I decided based on a recommendation, went to a place that I haven't been to in quite some time. Okay. So before I reveal the picture, Have either of you have had Eaton's Pizza?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've heard about it plenty of times, but yeah, just for some reason I've never had it.
Yeah, and Kirby, was it gone for like a long while from West Bend?
Well, I did not have it from West Bend. I had it from Fond du Lac.
Oh, okay.
But
From
it,
my
But
I
my
yes,
think it did.
I
I think it was gone.
see it on Main Street of West Bend.
Okay, yeah. So that's where I always knew it from growing up, and then I think for a long time it wasn't there, and now I had recently found out that it's over on Paradise, which I don't frequent that area too much. So when somebody told me about it, I'm like, well, I didn't know Eaton's Pizza was back or still around. So I heard what their November 2020 pizza for all those people that are listening outside of November 2020. Um, Once I heard what the pizza of the month was, I had to go and try it out. And I just had it tonight, about an hour before we are here. I'm going to share screen. Are we seeing a pizza?
Yep.
This
Yeah,
is
we're seeing
the
that.
this is the this is the taco mac and cheese pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's I was blown away. I don't know if I was just extra hungry or if it really is that good, but we're talking I was going to get the description up here.
No, where I'm getting my pizza next week.
Yeah, and it's for the month of November, so if you're going to get it, don't wait any longer. I'm going to go to their website here real quick so I can get the exact description of this specific pizza of the month. But yeah, friend at work recommended it. This here, it says, it begins with a taco seasoned macaroni and cheese. We top it with our famous mozzarella. We add chicken and finish it off with chips and cheddar cheese. And then you have the option of, adding whatever else you want. But yeah, I was blown away by it.
Get in my belly.
There, look at that zoom action there. So,
But you can't even tell there's really mac and cheese on it.
yeah, it's
Of course, when he does that, you can't even tell it's pizza.
yeah, I should have just opened it up like this, be like, hey guys, check this out. Got the automatic nudity sensor going on.
Anthony's trying to get the HBO on it for free again.
Oh wait, no, that was just pizza.
Fair fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I held up that figure again. Hold on here. I gotta close this out and figure out how to get back to my Zoom. Okay, I think we're done here. Yeah, I did take a picture of the aftermath, so maybe you can see the noodles all kind of hanging out spilling out underneath. But yeah, it was pretty well kept together.
Falling, his noodles hanging out.
Yeah, we're just complete messes over here on a Wednesday.
I didn't take a picture, but here was my mess.
There it is.
Well, as far as grocery store pizza goes, a couple of weeks ago we had do you remember the name of it? It was like Kathy's or Catherine's or something. It was in the Piggly Wiggly dairy section in their little center open fridge thing. And it was a pizza directly from Italy, apparently, is what it said on the box. And it was really good. Do you remember what flavor we had? It was like a vegetable one we did.
Was it the one with the mozzarella?
Yeah, it had the mozzarella chunks and then all the sauce open on it, like the Italian pizzas do. But that was actually really good for a frozen pizza. And then tonight we had the Screaming Sicilian's Philly cheesesteak pizza. This one's really good.
Did you cut out the mustache on the back?
No, I'll have to do that. But you can't have it because it's made with beer. So I don't want you getting drunk. So.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to get drunk while playing Nintendo here. So.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Get drunk and sit on the box and tell people he's going for a mustache ride.
And for all those listening and watching, this was unplanned. I mean, Wednesdays is typically in the past under the Cowls, you'll get 20 plus episodes of me and David just talking about pizza. But this one, we didn't pre-plan this of like, hey, let's all talk about the pizza. It's just kind of naturally worked out that way. So that
Gosh, but I don't like wait until midnight to eat my pizza.
Yeah, well, pizza just happened for me because we had, it's in a hurry. Got done with work late. I didn't get home until like 6:30, so and I still had to pick up Ethan and everything else. So I had to do
I
something.
like how they give you the little booger holders.
well, it's a COVID test too, so it's a
Yeah.
mustache and a COVID test all in one.
I knew that. Punch out a mustache off the back of this box. I learn something new all the time.
Oh yeah, I got a good picture where I have kind of what I would call a David Gloyd hat, like the driver's cap type of hat.
Oh.
I have one of those kind of caps, and I have one of those mustaches. So there's I made a black and white photo that it just looks like an old timey photo with the cardboard mustache. I just came across it the other day, so if only I had known that you would have brought your cardboard mustache. Cardboard mustache, by the way, just keep that in the back of your head for an episode title if you need one.
Our new band name.
I had a dinner and a movie as I revisited the what I think is the 1993.
Oh, yeah.
1993 classic of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Who here has seen it? And David, you haven't though, right?
At least 20.
You think that I've seen that one? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's
I've heard wonderful things about it though.
hey, the Washington Post says it's a blast.
It's absolute terrible fun. I liked it. I don't care what people say, but it's like my Howard the Duck.
Exactly.
Thing over and over and over, and everybody hates it. But
yeah, I defend it as well, and I always say that I'm like, I was in third grade when this came out, so this was like the perfect movie. Super Mario Brothers 3 just had come out, I think, or right around that time maybe. We get a live action movie, which even then, I think it's cool the way you see certain things, like you see Yoshi in there for a little bit, but it's not the Yoshi that you expect or see with the tongue and all cute. I mean, it's a little baby dinosaur, and they did what they needed to do. You see Toad in there, who is just a guy playing a harmonica that's got a swirly type haircut, gets turned into a Goomba. Spoiler alert. But it's just like, all right.
No point in watching it now.
Yeah, now it's ruined for you. It's one of those things being like, well, if you're watching this movie, they're definitely not going to have a tiny little mushroom guy. This was their version of like, hey, here's a guy, and hey, they call him Toad, and he's got a little swirly type of hairdo going on. It was great enough. The weapons, they use some bazookas in there that are the Super Scope 6 from Super Nintendo. So the actual video game canon game and whatever, they repurposed those and made them actual weapons in the movie.
Now, say what you want about. I mean, we all like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I know there's a lot of people who have some dislike for it and what it's done to movies and things like that. But it's also shown that you could now make a Super Mario Brothers movie that was much closer to the video games. Now, I mean, they haven't literally shown us like, hey, here it is, we made it. But with the things that they've done, now there's no doubt that you could make a Super Mario Brothers live action movie. It's more likely that it would be CGI, but you could make a live action Super Mario Brothers movie and make it with all the ridiculousness of the video games, and it would sell. People would love it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're in the works of a CGI one. I don't know if it's gone actual production, but I know it's been the talk of the last couple of years, and like that's probably the route it's going is CGI.
But do you really want animated figures jumping in and out of tubes, jumping on top of mushrooms, or do you want to see John Leguizamo having fun underneath Earth, just in this little mushroom surrounded village. It's
Ooh, Luigi Mario. Hey,
Yeah.
who are you? I'm Mario Mario. I'm Luigi Mario.
you put John Leguizamo in a comedy period, and it's sold. It's perfect.
Yeah, and I think in a world of like, the Lego movies and the kind of comedy that comes from, and what we'll probably expect from the Star Wars holiday special, Lego special thing, I got a feeling that a CGI Mario would probably just be a blast when it comes to like comedy and everything. But yeah, hopefully they will get John Leguizamo. Maybe he could be the one live action piece in there because I think everybody else in the movie's dead. So
Is Mario dead?
yeah, Bob Hoskins is dead. I'm pretty sure Dennis Hopper died too, right?
Did he?
I know Samantha Mathis is still alive, but it was just easier to say that everyone else is dead just for the.
I mean, honestly, if you wanted to make a Mario movie and you wanted to make a good one, I think right now the perfect time and place would be a Mario Kart. After you had the whole Wreck-It Ralph and all that stuff, I think they could really make a fun Mario Kart style movie more than just a regular Super Mario movie.
And I'm sure that would be part of it too. Yeah, you take elements of Lego Movie and Wreck-It Ralph and just kind of mash it up in a.
Have Kirby in there.
There we go. You or the pink marshmallow man? So.
Yeah, I could play. I mean, back in the day, I was famous for sticking a pool ball in my belly button, shooting it out my stomach, and doing a full
belly
break
button.
pool table.
I'm glad you, even though you said that in a natural like speed and you didn't allow enough time for imagination, me and David definitely went to that imaginative realm when you just said, "Yeah, I was famous for sticking a pool ball up there," and we're like, "Wait, what's?"
I could just shoot the pool balls.
Well, why not? I had a friend that would. He was a guy that always felt the need to defend himself that he wasn't gay. But then he would brag to people about how he could deep throat a kielbasa. And he'd show this off as a party trick and whatever. And then get upset because, like, why do people think I'm gay?
Because you spend your nights practicing on a kielbasa.
And I don't care if you are or not, but I think I know the reason why people think you are.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a flag, is if you're making that one of your nightly hobbies. So.
There was a girl up at the Weasels strip joint up in Eagle River that was very well trained with those little
Ping pong
balls.
That's where you learned your pool ball trick, where you're like, I gotta one up this.
Like, I gotta do something like that.
Next, I'm going for tennis balls and then a softball.
I'm up to a basketball already.
Like, this is kids why it's nice to grow up in a generation where we didn't have cell phones all the time.
Yeah, because you could do this stuff without, videos getting uploaded and then the police are coming over.
Now, one reason why I kind of started off the show here with the Nintendo Virtual Boy and I watched that movie and kind of threw some of that talk in there, it's because I wanted to make a special announcement. It has nothing to do with kielbasa, but a special announcement that as of today, I've made the decision that I'm going to unretire from video games. A couple years back, I made the tough decision after I purchased the Wii U, got a couple games, played it, but then my interest started to kind of dwindle down. And
All right. I'm still here. You guys both froze up, so I'm going to assume it was me.
I decided to
Hold on a second, guys.
game or quick little race on Mario Kart.
Time out. We're having some internet issues here apparently, which is funny because you guys froze up and you started talking about why you were unretiring. I didn't catch anything after that. The funny thing is, nothing says it's wrong on my computer, right? And as soon as it was starting to come back, all of a sudden I got this: your internet connection is unstable. But I think it was something in my house because I heard Tammy upstairs down here asking something about the internet. So I don't know if they disconnected something up there or what they did. So
It was all good on our end.
so
Yeah.
and just in case, I assume that because my end was a problem, I didn't get that, probably didn't record any of that. So now you got to start over and explain why you are unretiring from pro wrestling.
For pro wrestling, yep. So
I mean, video games.
yes, video games. So for depending on what was captured on audio or video or not, I decided to retire from video games just because I was getting frustrated with just going through the big world games and stuff like that, and took several years off. And when the Nintendo Switch came out, that was a big test for me. Your son David brought one into the shop, and that was the first time I'd seen it in person. I held it. He had the Mario Kart game. I played around, and I just had to tell him, I'm like, here, take this back because I'm going to end up buying one now. But
And for the record, that's Kirby's son, David, that brought it in.
yes, Kirby's son, David. Yep. And so I had to basically return that to him right away because I'm like, nope, I don't need to, unretire from video games. But I held off for a good year or two, and then I started to think about it the last couple weeks since we were talking about video games, maybe about a month ago, and then I saw that there's going to be some Black Friday deals coming up with Switch and the games and stuff like that, and then I coincidentally found out that my brother Adam. Now I got something dancing on my screen here. There's a Flash update that just popped up. I've never seen Adobe Flash before.
Share.
We don't see it on our end.
Yeah, I've never seen Adobe Flash on here before, and just a message just came up here.
Adobe started coming up on my computer this week too for some reason.
Okay,
Never.
remind me later, Adobe. So to start over at the beginning, I won't start at the beginning. So I found out that
Go
my
ahead and
brother.
pizza and
So let me share that pizza screen again. Found out my brother Adam actually had bought a Switch a while back, but doesn't really play it. So when I just asked him like what games he has and stuff, assuming we could connect and play Mario Kart or something, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't really play mine." He's like, "You want to buy it?" So I'm gonna buy his Switch. I'm rescuing a Switch. Would that be the right?
rehoming. Well, he's rehoming it to you. You're
Yeah.
adopting.
But yeah, I'm gonna adopt a Nintendo, rescue a Nintendo. But yeah, I'm getting all in the Nintendo spirit, and I think I'm back. So
Otherwise, it would have gone to a kill shelter.
exactly, we don't want that. So
So what
Crap.
else? What else have you given up on in the past few years? Gave up on comic books. And then you
Love.
trying to come back, and you came back and realized what you missed out on. And you gave
Yeah.
up games, and now you're going to realize all the good games you missed out on. And you're going to be so far behind, you're going to be like, I'm never going to be able to read comics because I'm playing on video games now.
The biggest thing that I've dwindled down on is television. Basically television in general. Like I still haven't seen Daredevil season 3 on Netflix. That came out 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
And
I'm like TV shit too.
I used to always be up to date because we would talk about it at the Cowl where it would drop on that Friday. That Saturday morning, I would come in and I had seen all 13 hours of the new Marvel season.
And I've only seen 3 episodes. Shut up.
And it was like that for everything. I was always caught up. I was watching every superhero show, but then there was so many of them coming out. Then I just got further behind, and it got to the point where almost like comic books in the sense where I can just kind of jump in and out. Like with Batman, I've done that with Detective Comics, where I'm just like, all right, I'll just jump in and out based on storylines or writers or artists, and realizing I'm like, yeah, I'll get the gist. David always says this, where you can just kind of jump in anywhere, give yourself 3-issue cushion or so, and you can pretty much kind of catch yourself up to speed without having to read 50 years of back issues. So I started thinking that with the television shows, if I missed episodes of The Flash or Supergirl or whatever, I'm like, I'll get it. I'll watch the recap and then I can just jump in like I just picked up the book off the shelf again. And so the television has been winding down where I don't really keep up with a ton of stuff, with exception of a very small amount like a Mandalorian or something. So I think my former TV time is now going to open up for my video game time, but comics aren't. That won't cut into comic time. So,
for your notes, Amanda Lorian.
Amanda Lorian. All right. Yep. Amanda. Oh, hey, that's actually a great segue if we want to share screen again. So
And
perfect segue. This is no spoilers for Mandalorian season 2. If anybody is worrying about pressing pause or anything, I decided to do a little mashup here. Mad Mando, mashing up Mike Allred's Madman with the Mandalorian title there. So I got Madman running the Jedi robe and a lightsaber, and we have the child, baby Yoda, if you will, who is very eagerly chasing him, and Madman's a little shocked, a little scared. He's making a run for it here, but yep, that was something that kind of worked on over the last couple weeks here and there, and the latest art piece. Mad Mando Comics. I had a lot of fun with the background. I did that at the very end with kind of your Moss Eisley-esque background. I just looked at a couple images and then just started, lowered the opacity on one of my tools, and I just drew a couple recognizable things, whether it's the little huts that they live in or those little communication towers or whatever the heck they are.
I wonder what kind of reception that little hut gets with that antenna.
Yeah, you caught that, huh? Yeah, I always like to figure out where I'm going to put my signature, and I thought having it be have the lighter opacity in the background, it fit in pretty good.
The child's growing his first tooth.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, this takes place in season 3. We're gonna see the Madman crossover. But yeah, anyways, that was a great segue. So thank you for calling out Amanda Lorian. But yeah,
Get a Nintendo Switch and park down by the river so I can play with you, join in on your games.
you got a Switch?
Not yet. I've been waiting for them to come down in the damn price. It's been over 2 years now, so they came out with that cheaper version, but I don't like it because the side controllers don't come off.
Yeah, it's just the portable. So Nintendo's doing all the retailers, they're doing this bundle. So it's a $2.99 bundle that comes with the digital Mario Kart 8 and 3 months free of their online service, which I think it's $20 a year, but then you have access to the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games, if I'm not mistaken. Then playing online and all that stuff. So for $2.99 instead of like what I think it was in the 400, 450, 500 range, I think.
I thought it was down to $2.99 now, normally.
I think without like, I don't think that comes with any games or anything.
$3.99 for the other one, and the cheaper version was like $2 something.
Yeah, so the Black Friday deal, which might be a Black Friday week, whatever they do, for that, but that's going to be the $2.99 with Mario Kart 8 digital and 3 months of online free. So
yeah, I know a lot of the people started their Black Friday shit last week, and they're going to run it for longer periods. So.
Well, yeah, actually, I picked up that projector on one of those deals. We were at Walmart, and just walking around, we noticed there's a lot of employees look like they're stocking stuff and not really paying attention to what they're stocking, whatever. There were a lot of people working.
They don't care.
And yeah, because they block off the aisles and then you walk around them. It's like they ignore that there's customers trying to shop while they're shopping or while they're stocking. But we found these projectors and I'm like, wow. And it was like under $50. So I'm like, well, every year we borrow Eric's and then I have to arrange to borrow it. Usually he can't make it to whatever we're borrowing it for. And then I have to like hold on to it, keep it, safe and unbroken until I can get back to him. I'm like, well, I'm going to get this. And then of course, the year that I get my own projector, we're not doing a live Life Day celebration in person. So I'll just be, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm still going to set it up and I'll watch something.
Actually, you're right next to the park. They got their little drive-through Christmas thing going on. You can put up a projector and play the movie.
And it'll be fitting because they'll have all their lights because they do their light thingy over at the park. And so people can come by, come for the lights, stay for, the Star Wars Holiday Special. Or come for the Star Wars Holiday Special, stay for the lights. So,
Sounds like a deal to me.
yeah. How do we make this happen? Who do we talk to?
George Lucas?
Actually, I have talked to the guy that's in charge of the parks department before. Back when I was part of the HUBA, the Historic Art and Business Association. I just like to call it HUBA. And we did the that park that we kind of adopted and fixed up, and there's a flag there now, and it's sort of a fireman's park thing. So we worked with them on that. So I'll have to, maybe I'll look them up and say, hey, can we do this? And then they'll probably say, well, no, because it's a bootlegged version. Not that we're bootlegging movies.
No.
Certainly not bootlegging movies that are available in any other way. So
yeah,
or anybody would want to watch.
You had mentioned
we'd be happy to pay for it if it was available.
Hey, I bought the disc for it, so as far as I'm concerned, I own the rights to it, right?
Well, you technically you did buy it. You just
I've been dying to find the movie since I was a little kid and seen it for the first time.
Now
I changed it up one year and play that was it German or whatever, the one that Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
It looked way worse than the holiday special. His makeup was worse. His costume was worse. I don't know what was going on with the droids. But that would be fun to just like insert in there.
Now, you had mentioned a flag earlier, so I think that's another great segue to the fact that you're wearing a Captain America shirt. You're wearing a hat that says veteran and it has a flag on it because we are recording on Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to you, David.
Well, thank you. And actually, I've got Veterans Day food to talk about.
Oh.
So I've been out of the Army for 20 years now. And between my 3 years in the Army and my 20 years out of the Army, I've not once taken advantage of the free Veterans Day meals until today. Today, for the very first time,
That Kroger pizza, great.
Well, for work, me and one of the other guys went out and we were seeing customers today. And about the time that we were heading back, it was lunchtime. So, and we'd already kind of talked about the Veterans Day stuff because he knew I was a veteran. And he's like, well, you want to stop for lunch or not? And I thought, well, sure. And so he pulled out his phone and he's looking up, all right, where can David eat for free? And, what's on the way and everything. And so we ended up actually going to Applebee's and walked in there and they're like, well, there's like a 45-minute wait. but there's room at the bar. So we're like, well, we'll go to the bar. And then we get to order right away. So, that's fine. I don't mind eating at a bar.
That's okay.
And I haven't eaten at Applebee's for a while because they're not real friendly to, vegans and vegetarians. And B, we learned after a couple of times of going there and being disappointed that all their food kind of tastes the same. So they use the exact same seasoning on everything. Now, I've heard that they have better lunches, so I'm thinking, okay, well, we'll go check it out. And they ask, I've never done this. I've never gotten the free meal thing. So I'm like, well, how do I show that I'm a veteran? I mean, what do they ask?
Whip it up.
Whatever. I mean, I don't have a military ID. Technically I do have my old military ID, but I'm like, 80 pounds heavier now. I have more hair in general.
Most veterans are.
Well, yeah, but it's like, so how do I show this card, that looks like it could be my son? Be like, that's not you. So I'm like, I don't know. Do they ask for proof? Because some places I've seen do, which didn't make sense to me because most veterans, you don't have a current military ID when you've been out of the military for years. Now, if I talk to the VA or whatever, I mean, maybe there's some identification I can get. Somebody pointed out to me today that, hey, why don't they just put that on your driver's license that you're a veteran? Because then it would be there. So you
Makes sense.
Go to the DMV when you renew your license, or you get your license in the first place once you've served in the military. Bring along your DD 214, and get that right on your license so that you've got that identification. I'm like, yeah, why don't they do that? That would be such a simple thing to do.
Yep.
So I'm like, we were driving right past my house. I'm like, let me duck in, and I've got that ID. Wasn't sure where it was, so I actually pulled out my DD 214, which is your discharge papers, and that's the most important documentation that you get when you get out. That's what you have to show to prove that you were in the military. So I had all my work stuff with me anyway, so I just ran in. I grabbed my folder that had that in, tucked it in my work stuff, and I'm like, well, if they ask, I've got it. We went down there. Myself and Kevin was the guy I was with. We sat at the bar, and the person behind the bar just asked us, nope, different Kevin. Asked us, did you serve in the military? And, I said, yeah. And she asked Kevin, and Kevin's like, no. And afterwards, I thanked him for doing that, because I think there's probably a lot of people out there that if asked would have just been like, yeah, yeah, where's my free food?
Yeah.
Which I just feel is a very wrong thing to do. But he didn't. He was honest. He was like, no, he did, but I didn't. Also funny because as we currently look, he's got a shorter haircut and everything. If you had to pick one of us and go, which one of these guys is military, you'd probably pick him. He doesn't have the fat gut and all the shaggy stuff here and whatever. But so they give you a little children's menu, and not really, but it's a little menu, and these are the free options. But they had some decent stuff on there. So that was nice. In fact, Kevin actually got something that was on that menu, even though he was paying full price. Looking into it, because I haven't really looked at these deals, I noticed that there's a lot of places that I don't want to call anybody out, but I feel like using somebody as an example. So sorry, Cousins. Cousin subs. Yeah, I looked because I was curious as what other people do. They've got a deal for veterans on Veterans Day that you get a free regular side when you buy any 7.5-inch sub. I'm thinking,
Thanks for serving them.
That's the kind of thing that you find a coupon in the Sunday paper for. Now, places don't have to offer anything. So, I'm not trying to knock anybody or whatever. But it is funny that, you get a place like Applebee's and it's your meal is free. You know, they have certain ones, but they were decent things. It wasn't like, yeah, I got a corn dog, you know.
Kobasa.
Yeah. But that was a military friend, by the way. You know, and that was during the don't ask, don't tell years. But no, he's happily married, he's got kids, whatever. So I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about what you guys did before you got married.
But yeah, some places have stuff like that, and some of them say are real strict, like must show a current military ID. Like, and again, yeah, if you're in the military currently, that's great, but that's not what being a veteran means. A veteran is anybody who has served in the military. So you get like a wide variety of stuff. I think McDonald's is something like a free egg McMuffin or whatever it is. There's there's some other places that it's stuff where again it's the kind of deals that you would expect to see in a coupon in the Sunday paper. And then there's other places that do the all out like a free meal. You know, if you're a veteran, just kind of like Mother's Day. You know, take your mom out to lunch or to dinner, and theirs is free. And they still charge you the tax. They still want you to pay a gratuity, which makes sense. I don't care if you're eating for free or not. You still have a wait staff who's taking care of you, whatever, you tip accordingly. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see all these different options, from one place to another. And of course, there are a lot of places that don't do anything, and that's fine too. You don't have to. But yeah, I couldn't tell you why, but in 23 years of having military veteran status, this is the first time I've taken advantage at all of eating for free on Veterans Day.
See, and after you telling that story about, thanking your friend for not just, jumping in on a free meal, I felt kind of guilty because I've done that every time I've gone out to Applebee's with my buddy Beetle Bailey here.
We served together.
Yes. So.
But now, when we were discussing the IDs and how you show, we got there, and there were a lot of the older veterans, and they're all wearing their veteran hats, their Navy hats and their Army hats and the Vietnam hats and all these hats. And I jokingly said, see, all I would have had to do is get a hat, So we get back to the shop, and I was told that I was supposed to go see the receptionist. She had something for me, and come to find out, one of our customers had called in or stopped in and talked to her and said, "How many veterans do you guys have working here?" And they recently put out a list that circulated, to thank all the veterans working there anyways. So she just pulled up the list and she counts them and gave the number. And he brought in these veteran hats for everybody. I was like, I should have got that before lunch. But I thought that was really great that, we had a customer that thought of us and came in and gave us these hats. And they're nice hats too. They're not cheap hats. You can tell that they're good quality and everything else. So I'm sure they spent a good bit of money, and they did that for us. So who knows who else they might have done that for. So I thought that was really cool. So it's great that people still appreciate veterans and people who have gone off and served. And sometimes I think like, I was a veteran and I have respect for any veterans, but I served during peacetime. I didn't really go off and do anything. I don't have war stories. I've got a lot more stories of the trouble that me and people that I was serving with got into, in our downtime. Stories that would be appropriate for Under the Cowl, but I'll not say too much because there's
Save that
somewhere
for
I'll have a tell-all book.
save that for a future Patreon service. They have to pay to hear that. So
Yeah, there you go.
see, it's all about that. Yeah, and it's funny when you said that, talking about a hat and ID and all that stuff. The whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, why aren't you wearing that hat? You know, like, and then then we find out that you didn't get the hat till recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of assholes out there that'll take advantage of the things and stuff, of course, but I can totally see why most places don't have to require an ID and stuff. If you've ever been to the VA hospital and stuff, you don't really want to piss off some of the veterans and question whether or not they served, because they get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, there was a guy that I used to work with, and so one year they were asking, because they hadn't annually done something for Veterans Day, and they have ever since. But this first year that they started doing it, they asked all the managers for lists of everybody in their departments that was a veteran. And so my manager at the time comes out and he's asking everybody, and yeah, I mean, and this other guy says, "Oh yeah, I was in the Marines," and so he puts him down on the list and whatever. This guy had never thought of joining the military, but and everybody knew it too. It's like, no, he wasn't. He wasn't in the Marines. Air Force maybe, but not the Marines. But no, there was no way that he was military of any kind. And so my manager submits the list, and then it comes out that I was just joking, ha ha ha. And no, he was just being an ass, is what he was being. And so it didn't go over well, that he had somebody that claimed military status of some sort when he wasn't. And I can just imagine if this had been somebody that walked into someplace with a bunch of veterans and started claiming, "Oh yeah, I was in the Marines," and everything else.
You would have been in a war pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. You're about to be in a war. Killed in action.
Yeah. I was going to ask earlier, just kind of the topic of video games. I was talking with somebody else. Do either of you have a go-to video game when you think of what the best video game you've ever played? Do you have an answer for that? I know, David, it's always, winding down those answers isn't always the easiest thing for you. So maybe we can go to Kerby first.
What I could go. I mean,
okay.
Because I'm not a big video game guy. I don't play a lot of video games. But if I had one that I had a lot of fun with, it's there's a few that I'll play with my kids, but appropriate for talking military. Call of Duty. Yeah, I like killing people with my children. Yeah, I mean, I don't like playing the campaigns and stuff like that, but when we just go around and it's just me and the kids and we're killing people, it's a lot of fun.
Bloodfest.
Now that you've revealed that, what's your favorite video game? Oh wait, that was it. Okay. I thought that was just a whole nother story.
So and there's a few others that I play and enjoy with them, and there's a similar one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is. One of the Star Wars games. It's very similar. I can run around and kill people with a lightsaber, and I do that with Ethan sometimes.
Battlefront game, I believe.
Yeah, it'd be one of those.
Yeah, those. I think Battlefront 2 is a pretty strong one.
I think it was probably Battlefront 2, actually. Yeah, you can choose your character and go out, and then you just start killing people, swinging around. It's like, I don't know how to do this stuff, but I'm hitting buttons and I'm killing people.
Personally, for a big chunk Battlefront, I think, overtook Call of Duty for a while. But then Call of Duty saved itself with the zombies, all the different zombie factions.
Yeah, you know what? I actually don't like the zombie stuff on Call of Duty. I think it's lame. If it's a zombie, you should be able to just cap it in the head and be done.
Well, you can if you can actually shoot for shit.
Yeah, but they don't work the regular typical zombie way, so it doesn't feel right.
Kirby, if someone asked you your favorite video game of all time, do you have an answer?
Okay, I'm gonna pull a Damon here.
You got 3 different categories, and those are going to have 3 extra categories.
If it was a
I like
video,
this one because of the cover.
if it was an arcade cabinet, there was a Star Wars game. It was at the Sunburst Ski Hill for many, many years. I'd like to buy it if they still have it. I don't know if they do or not. But it's the one that had the little controllers. You could control the TIE fighter and shit with the little panel thing. That thing was awesome. I spent tons of quarters in that game.
The one where you actually sit into the machine and everything?
They had 2 versions. You could sit in one, and there was a standing one. The one at the Sunburst Ski Hill was a standing version. Okay. But at the Fond du Lac Mall, they had the sitting one.
Nice.
But Nintendo games, to this day, my favorite game is Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I search for systems just for that stupid game. I want that little Super Nintendo Mini because it's got it in there. What's that?
That's a video game? I thought that was just the excuse I give to the police.
No, it's a video game, but it works both ways. And then as far as my favorite video game, just outright playing, it's hard to limit them, but I can narrow it down to my top 2, and that's anything Resident Evil and anything from the Fallout franchise. Either one of those, you put a game out, you got my money, I'm hooked. I don't care. But I played the first 3 Resident Evils are my favorite. I mean, the director's cut versions preferably, but and now they're doing they just did the remakes of number 1 and 2, and it's like I can't wait to get my hands on those. But yeah, they finally got it, so you aren't doing that stupid pivot move when you're trying to shoot at shit that's coming at you from all directions. So they made it easier to control and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I got vivid memories of when the first Resident Evil came out, and just how it was like the scariest video game, it's just like, just the way you didn't know what was coming at you sometimes. And it was just, I think it was the first time playing a video game that I felt like I was watching a horror movie in that sense. So.
It's like the first game that I actually sat down and played all the way through. Me and 2 of my friends, I think it took us about 4 days of continuous play, but we played through Legend of Zelda when it first came out, and it just stayed up 24/7. Took turns taking naps here and there, but yeah, we just kept playing that thing straight through till we conquered it. And that was before they came out with the cheater map and shit. So.
Guides and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. My go-to one is Mario 64. I grew up with the Atari and regular Nintendo and all that stuff, and I got a lot of favorites there. But Mario 64 is one that I just go back to so many times. Just such a large game, getting all 120 stars, and there's just so much to do. The worlds are so immersive, and it has one of the coolest stories of how I came to play it for the first time. So in town here, they would have the Kewaskum Kettle Country Colors and the fall festival every October or so, September, October. And the video square that used to be when you go into Subway and go into the back, there was a video store there. And they held a video game contest one year. It would have been yeah, I think there was one back entrance just to go to Video Square, but the main entrance was going and walking past the subway station.
Yeah, it was like some secret thing. It's
like fuck you, I don't want your food.
You walk through Subway, you go back past the bathrooms.
Yeah.
There's a door on the back wall.
Yep.
And yeah, you go in there. There's a video store.
Grab your video go on, you stick them out the back door, then you go into Subway, get your food, and then you go around and take the videos and take off.
On the reverse end of that, think about it this way: a lot of video stores back in the day, they would have a back section that only certain people got to go into. And this one in the back of the video games, the video store, you go through the back door and get a foot long.
Going back to the kielbasa again.
And the other one too.
So yeah, Video Square had a video game contest. So all weekend long, they had all their systems, multiple ones set up inside the tent. And I was playing Road Rash for PlayStation. That was one of the games that you could compete, get the best time on certain tracks or courses. And myself and my friend's older brother, we'll call him Chad because that was his name. And so, what?
Used to be? It was his name?
Used to be. So myself and Chad kind of went back and forth. We never saw each other there, but you would write your name in the notebook. They would record your time and everything. And I would just keep going back like a couple times a day for 3 days. And we kept beating each other's scores. So we kept going back and just being like, well, I want to win this. I want to win this. And on the last day, I was good friends with the guy that owned the store. And he called up my telephone number and I picked up and he said, oh, Chad came in and beat your score. You have about an hour left before we close down. So he's like, if you want to get down here. So I hopped on the bike. What?
If you want to get down.
I try to tell the whole
score, don't you?
You know what? I'm gonna go watch the Super Mario Brothers movie again. So see you guys later. So hopped on my bike, rode to the other end of town to get to there. I probably had about 20 minutes left to compete, and I did end up beating his time in Road Rash. And I just sat and waited out in case he would come back or was lingering around the park. And it finished, and I won the competition, which rewarded me one item from the snack table, which I picked a package of Twizzlers. Also got me one item from the VHS pile that I got to keep and take home. So I picked up Tommy Boy on VHS. And the big grand prize for beating that time trial was 1 week free rental of any video game system that I wanted. And Nintendo 64 was maybe fresh out for like a week or two. And I was playing, you could play the Mario and Pilot Wings were the first two games out there. And they had it hooked up just to play for fun. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get that. Because I think they only had like two systems for the store. So you were always on a waiting list if you wanted to rent it and everything. I remember always renting the video game systems, and you get like the big suitcase with the big styrofoam on the inside, and you just, it felt so exciting to be able to, own a system for a couple days by renting it, So I played the heck out of Mario 64. I would get it for Christmas that December of 96, and from December 25th until I think it was like January 18th, because I wrote it down on one of my school notebooks, the day that I conquered Mario 64. And I always have all those memories, and I just started Mario 64 again to kind of go back and get all the stars again. But Mario 64, favorite game of all time.
And of course, being the small town that Kewaskum is, poor Chad had to go change his name.
That's right.
I would have seen that contest because I would have kicked the shit out of you on Road Rash. That was one of my favorite motorcycle games, and I was bummed because for so long they never did a remake of it. They never did anything with it, and it was one of the best ideas for motorcycle games ever. And then just before I got rid of my Xbox yearly pass thing that I had, my Xbox Gold, I downloaded two different Road Rash style games that they just recently came out with, and they're excellent. But I can't play them unless I have my stupid Xbox Gold. So,
well, as someone who is still reigning champion, and I still have my Tommy Boy VHS and I'm down to the last.
Four.
I'm down to the last Twizzler. I've been holding on to those for 20 years, and I've got one more left, so 23 years.
I will race you side by side and beat you with a chain.
Well, I'll just be kicking you the whole time, so.
That's what most people do, just an instant kick.
Yeah, you're like, the whole time when you're driving, your foot is just going like that.
Like a dog getting its belly rubbed.
It's basically it. Yeah.
It's like the kick's instant and fast, but if you use your swing with your arm, it's like a delay. And it's like, but you always wanted to use the weapons.
But yep, that was my main topic. I kind of want to infuse throughout the episode was the fact that I'm out of video game retirement. I'll be talking with my brother, waiting to see when we can meet up and I can officially own the Nintendo Switch and carry on my Nintendo ways.
Yeah, that's. Otherwise, I'll take the deal if you don't take it, because I've been trying to find one cheaper, and there just aren't.
Well, here, how about this even? Because I still have to buy Mario Kart. So I mean, technically, if you really wanted to, we could talk about it. Because I would be. He's not giving me he's basically kind of giving me what the deal is. I'm getting a little better deal because I'm not paying tax and stuff like that. But I also have to go out and buy Mario Kart yet because he doesn't have that.
Well, that's messed up. He should give you a better deal since it's used.
Well, used in his condition and knowing my brother, I bet you he barely played it and he always keeps all of his stuff perfect. So it's basically me doing a favor for him of getting rid of something that he's barely even used. So
I used to play games almost every day, and since we moved in here, I hardly play them at all.
Yeah, you pay a little bit more because it's already broken in. You don't have to do that.
And it's already got a credit card on the account, so you can download wherever you need.
yeah, he's probably going to keep that on there. So otherwise, I was just going to use Jim's credit card or maybe Sean's credit card if he was going to be the new one. All right. Well, looks like the hour's up, huh, guys?
It is.
So I gotta
charge by the hour. So,
all right, I gotta turn on Virtual Boy because I have a game of Mario Tennis that I had paused for an hour here. So I guess I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna enter the 3D world.
all right.